If you are a beginner reseller or if you're looking to get started reselling on eBay, then knowing how to start reselling on eBay can be a difficult task, especially with all of the information that is out there. So, what we're going to be focusing on today is strategies and tips that are all based upon the basics of reselling and how to be successful resellers on eBay. So, we're going to be focusing on things like title structure, pricing, and those are the two things that are so important to master first before you start worrying about how you're going to set up your photos, how you're going to set up your shipping station, and how you're going to store your inventory. Because I believe that it is price and title that is going to be the main contributor for buyers to be able to find your items and for you to be able to price them within the market demand. So if you want an eBay store review and you have an eBay store going, but you're maybe figuring out why you're not getting sales, drop it in the comment section and we will review it for free live on the channel. If you have also any questions, drop them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them. So we do have 2 stores in the queue all ready to go. We're going to be taking a look at Gigi's Tokens of Love. Best store name. Love it. And I appreciate you following along the channel. I believe your name is Tammy, and I just really appreciate all the comments that you leave and all the support for what you've kind of seen along my journey and whatnot. But I haven't been able to look at your store, so today we're going to be deep diving in. It looks like you have about 1.7 thousand items sold on eBay. Let's see, bringing up some of your information here. You started over with listings about 6 months ago, and you average 4 to 5 new listings a day, and your cost of goods is ranging between $1 and $3. And coupons average 3 or 4 a month. Okay, extra sales probably through coupons. That's very good. So it looks like you are a pre-owned clothing reseller. And so far, right off the bat, your photos look nice and clear. Looks like you've been picking up a lot of jeans. And I guess one of the things is some of these are stock photos, so just was wondering why you are choosing to use some stock photos. There can be some complications with the Vero program when you use stock photos. Just wondering what was your strategy there. Maybe you're looking to upload those photos later. But yeah, so right off the bat, your photos look nice and clear, and that's the main thing we're looking at right now is photos. It's like a YouTube thumbnail. That's how a buyer is choosing to click on your item is based upon how your photo looks. So if your photo's unclear, or maybe it's just a picture of the collar or the jeans folded up, maybe that might be a little bit more confusing to the buyer where they're not going to click on that. So getting clear photos can be a good contributor to get a buyer to click on your item. The next thing, to get your buyers to find your item, you're going to want to be titling your titles for the common buyer. So basically, we want the majority of buyers to find our items. So we need to be able to figure out how are the majority of buyers searching for items. There's a lot of mystery to it, but not really, because eBay does give you a good base foundation of how you should be structuring your titles. So for me, it's going to be brand, item, gender, size, and then followed with keywords that are going to accurately describe my item. So for your store, Tammy, you do have great brands in here. You have Purpose jeans, you have a cinch shirt, you have some Wrangler, which is okay. So what I would just suggest first is following that title structure. Brand, item, gender, size for all of your clothing listings. Following that title structure for the first few words is going to be key for getting those common majority buyers to be able to find your items. So let's just take, for example, these Express jeans. You have Express Hyper Stretch Men's 3430 jeans. How many buyers are typing in Express jeans men's 3430, and how many buyers are typing in Express Hyper Stretch men's 3430 jeans? So I would think that most buyers are going to be typing in Express jeans versus Express Hyper Stretch men's 3430. So what you can do there is take Hyper Stretch and use it as a keyword. So just take hyperstretch and move it a little bit further down in your title. That's it. So those are some key ways to start. Just maybe you already have a great title, like as far as keywords. Now you just need to shift things around. So I would suggest going into the bulk editor under your listings tab, select all your listings, bulk edit, and then just go one by one. Pick 5 listings out a day and just choose to rearrange some of those titles into the structure that I mentioned: brand, item, gender, size, and structure them just like that. And that's going to be really helpful for you when you start to grow your business, because the main reason is we want to sell similar off of our own items. Why do we want to do this? Because we don't want to be selling similar off of other people's listings that have no idea what they're doing. So one of the worst ways to kill your store is to sell similar off of other people's listings, and they have all these business policies that are messed up. Their shipping policies are all messed up. They're putting NA for item specifics. So that's going to be really hard for you to be able to go back and correct all those item specifics that the previous seller has no clue what they're doing, and now you're going to have to go through and fix all those. So we're going to be really trying to focus on developing the best, most perfect listing first. And once you do that, and as you continue to list items in your store and sell similar off those items in your store, you're going to start building up a portfolio of items that you can go in and sell similar off of, and you know the business policy, you know the shipping policy, the return policy, you know what item specifics are in there and what aren't in there. So those are the things that are really going to make you go further faster and not have to go back into your store and fix old listings that aren't selling. So that is one thing that why we stress the importance of basics, is because when we grow our store, we don't want to have to go back into our store and fix all of these mistakes. Good thing you only have 200 items, so that's going to be a great thing, easy fix. You could probably knock this out in a day and have all of your titles fixed and start seeing more traffic on those listings. So just going back into your store, you know, these purpose jeans, PRPS. So it'd be PRPS jeans, men's 42. Simple fix there. Coco and Carmen jeans, women's large, extra large. Wrangler jeans, women's 34. Rock and Roll Cowgirl jeans. J. Crew shorts. Wrangler jeans, Ariat jeans. You know, you get my point. You know, I don't have to go much further than that. But great pictures. So now let's take a look at one of your listings and see what's going on. I love selling jeans. So when I see store of jeans, I get excited because my most sold category is jeans. I sell the most men's and women's jeans, and that makes up over 50% of my sales every month. So your pictures look great. They look well lit. You're not trying to make these items look better than they are, which is key for selling used clothes. You have a picture of the tag or the model number. Key. This is key. As a used clothing seller, you want to take a picture of the tag. You want to take a picture of if it has a model or a material tag. You want to take pictures of all three. So you have that right away. You have it. Very good. You even have a pointer. Even better. I would say it's not necessary, but good that you have it. Pointing out the waist and as well as the width of the thigh and the rise. Very good. You have you even measured the hem of the leg opening. Bonus points right there, because you will, as you grow your store, get more questions. Can you measure the hem opening? Can you measure the leg opening? By just putting that in there already, then you can just refer, hey, it's photo number 10. You know, rather than like, all right, yeah, let me go dig it out of my inventory and measure it, because that can just kind of be a waste of time as you end up getting a bigger store. So great photos, great clarity. You're pointing out any of the flaws. You have a good amount of photos in here, 12, 14 photos. I would say at the bare minimum, you're going to be wanting to put at least 8 photos in there, and up to 24. But it's hard to take 24 photos of a t-shirt, right? So just take as many photos necessary. Another great thing that I noticed right off the bat is your condition description. It looks like you're listing from a computer, which a lot of people want to be listing from their phone, which is great. Do what works for you. But you won't have access to filling out a condition description. And I really suggest putting some type of condition description where it's at least being transparent and telling a story about your item, but don't make it more than 1 to 2 sentences long. So you're basically going to be so mine is used condition, light signs of wear, no holes. Please see photos for exact measurements. That's my default condition description for all of my items. So I'll have to maybe go in there. If an item has a stain, I'll put stain, and then I'll put abbreviation, and then it will continue on with that default condition description. If it has a hole, I'll replace stain with hole. So I'm just really wanting to be transparent, be authentic, be genuine. What is going on with my item? I want to put that there in the condition description, because over 50% of buyers on eBay are using their phone. You don't want to put too much in there, and as you're scrolling on eBay, the condition description is only like 4 or 5 words on your phone. So you're going to want to be able to at least get some kind of transparency in there, so they're not clicking on your listing and then reading, oh, it has a hole, and then they click off. That is telling eBay that there is something wrong with this listing, and that is a bad way to end up on page 5, page 6, page 100 when you're trying to sell these items. So trying to get some kind of transparency in there to tell what your item is doing, how it is, wear along the hems, a stain by the back pocket. Saying that within the first few words of your condition description is going to be key. So you put good pre-owned condition, light signs of wear, distressed, very good. And then you put review photos for condition and actual measurements. This is beautiful. Great job. That's great. Yes, you really want to be clear as possible. Most buyers don't read anything. So you really just at least put something in there. So if there is a return, you can tell eBay, hey, I put that in there. It's the buyer's responsibility to read the description before making a purchase. So your description looks really good, very simple, and you have a great use of bullet points, making this product description easy to read. The last thing I'll tell you, or the last thing a buyer wants to read, is a wall of text of all of these things, of legalese and policies and all this. That's probably alone going to make them click off your listing. So being very clear with the least amount of words, relaying to the buyer what you offer: free returns, fast shipping, smoke-free and outdoor pet-friendly home. And then I love this. You put in bold, please review photos for condition and actual measurements due to the possible fabric stretching and shrinkage to ensure proper fit. Because if you are a used clothing seller, and specifically with jeans, you are going to notice that the tag size is different from the measured size. So you want to be able to relay that to the end buyer to just let them know, look at the photos, please. So that's going to be key for you to help minimize returns. People say, oh, I don't offer free returns because I don't want returns. Well, I'll tell you what, no matter what, whether you offer free returns, no returns, the buyer can still return an item. It's called eBay's buyer guarantee. They can return the item no matter what. So you might as well offer returns, right? So returns are a part of business. And if you don't like returns, then maybe you're not set for this type of business. But the goal is to minimize returns. So you have great item specifics. It looks nice and filled out. You're not putting NA. You're not filling out stuff just for the fun of it. That's very good. So yeah, I would just say the main thing after just looking, briefly at your store, just go back in and fix some of your titles. You have great photos. You have great product description. I think just your titles is something that you can do right now and start seeing that help bring in more sales for your store. So you have 200 items. Let's look at some of your recent sales to kind of see, oh, maybe you just sold an item because you had 200 and now you got 199. So today you sold 2. Very good. Yesterday you sold 3. The 10th you sold 1. You didn't sell anything on the 9th. You sold 1 on the 8th. You sold 4 on the 7th. Okay, so I've seen enough. This is great. So what I would consider a really strong store is if you're selling 1% of your items every day. So you have 200 items in your store. You should have a celebration every day when you sell 2 items in your store. If you sell 2 items or more in your store, that's a great thing. That is a beautiful thing. Now, how can we turn this 200 item store while trying to maintain that sell through rate as best as we can and get it to 2,000 items, get it to 10,000 items, 50,000 items? So, the first thing that this tells me is that you're pricing items correctly and you're picking up good brands. Maybe they're not all good brands, but you're picking up the majority of your items are good brands with good sell through rates, with least amount of flaws. You're taking good photos. So this is a really good way to be able to scale your business, because the hardest thing in this business is finding a good source. As you grow your business, you're going to get tired of going out to the thrift store, of going out to the Goodwill bins every day. And you're going to figure, wow, if I spend 8 hours a day sourcing, it only leaves me 2 hours a day to list my items. So you're going to have to figure out how you can either get items, as you get bigger, of course. I wouldn't suggest this right away, but as you get into the thousands of items and as you start increasing your listing goal to 20, 30, 45 items, you're going to have to figure out, how can I make either someone source for me, or I drive down and I come pick up a bulk bale of clothes that are already sorted for me. How can I figure out how to scale that? That can be something you can keep in mind, as you grow your business. But I think right now, when you're just starting out, you're 6 months in, keep doing what you're doing. It looks great. It all looks good, and it looks like you are just on track to have a successful store. I think one of the hardest parts when you're just starting out is you want to make profit on everything. You go, I can make profit on that. I can make profit on this. And it's really hard for you to niche down when you go in with that mindset to a thrift store and you start looking at the jewelry, the watches, the top hats, the boots. It's really hard because you're not going in with focus. So you're just trying to pick up whatever makes money. So figure out, it's okay to be an everything seller to start, but try to at least niche down in a few categories where you could be successful and continue to gain knowledge in those categories. So I think just keep doing what you're doing. Go in, fix some of your titles. One thing I would suggest is things like markdown sales for older inventory and adding some type of daily coupon, or I just believe using all the tools that eBay gives us is really going to help you get more sales, which is the goal of this live stream. So I hope that was helpful. Jake, thanks for watching. He says, much love from Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Jake says, I think I'm brave enough to let you check mine out. Yeah, drop it in the comments. We'll get to it. We'll take a look, see what's going on. Chica says, thanks for all the knowledge you share. It's amazing how much you have helped me. I wake up every day at 3:30 getting ready to hear your videos and learn. I just started on eBay and I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the viewers, all the new viewers, anyone who leaves a comment. I am here to help you. That is my goal. eBay is great and all, but it's not fulfilling. Helping people maybe make that jump from 9 to 5, or maybe that part-time job, that is what I wake up every day with enjoyment to. How can I help you? How can I serve you? Take what I have learned in the last 2.5 years of reselling, condense it down into one video, and make it so you can learn something and take that and apply it to your business. That is what helps me. I read your guys' comments, and it really helps me get through a lot of the boring parts of the reseller life. We may think it's this glamorous, driving Lambos, wearing Gucci, going to the club, eBay life, but it's really a mundane job. It's very systematic. Taking photos is very systematic. Packaging your shipping products and shipping your items out is very systematic. So getting that joy from reading your comments and all of that appreciation really helps me get through all that so I can help serve you guys the best that I can. I'm still learning. I don't claim to be a master of nothing, so I just am still learning, and I'm learning from all of you other resellers out there as well to see what I can apply in my business. So thank you, and I appreciate that comment. So Tammy says, awesome feedback. Thank you. You are welcome anytime. And Bass and Coffee, you are up next, my friend, because I read that comment and I added your store to the list. So we got you on deck. Miss Lachey, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Longtime viewer. I appreciate you, Miss Lachey, and I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well because the sun is out. for the first time in 70 years in Oregon. Feels like 70 years. It's been snowing every day for 3 months. Kind of gets a little old after a while, so the sun is out. It's a beautiful day. I'm excited. So Bass and Coffee, you're up next. We got you, my friend. Let's take a look. You got 3,000 items sold. You have 99% feedback. Very good. And you have about 900 items. So before we get into your store, tell me what your listing habits look like. Tell me what your sourcing habits look like. And give me a little more backstory to how you got into reselling and what your vision is for your business. So right off the bat, I love seeing some of these brands. You know, you got Diesel, you got Athleta, you got some Buffalo David Bitten. I know that's kind of got some mixed reviews, but I sell it and does well for me. You have some Paco jeans. Yes. Bringing me back to the Y2K area, Paco, ladies and gentlemen, is coming back. So Paco jeans, you got some Ralph Lauren Black Label, more Diesel, Denim and Supply. Oh, man, I'm getting excited. So Rag & Bone, ladies and gentlemen, these brands right here, the few that I just mentioned, are brands that you can literally build the foundation of your business with and make 6 figures. Those simple brands that people will just go, Ralph Lauren, what? Yes, you can pick up Ralph Lauren and make good money. Even though it's saturated, you can still niche down in that category, and you'll be surprised on how many items are actually selling for $20, $30, $40. So just seeing some of those good brands in your store gives me confidence that you are already on the right track without even looking at photos and titles and price. So just looking at some of your brands. So now looking at some of your photos, clear. You know, we're not looking for anything like product photography that's like making this Gap shirt look like it's brand new. You know, you just want to make it look like it's authentic coming from a person, you know. So this is what it's telling me is like you got some good photos, they're clear. You're showing the whole photo of the entire garment first. That's nice. So your photos look on point. Now let's take a look at some of your titles. This is where things can get tricky. So titles, great items, great photos, titles. I'm just going to name a few of them. So right here you have vintage Paco jeans men's. Those keywords are great and line up correctly. After men's is when I would put the size. So instead of convertible cargo pants, and I wouldn't put pants in there because if you list them in the jeans category, then they're jeans. And if they're pants, you're going to replace jeans with pants, and vice versa. So 3232 would go after the gender. You have vintage Levi's 550 relaxed fit men's jeans. I would put vintage Levi's 550 jeans men's 3430, and then you would put relaxed fit blue denim tapered. You could put tapered relaxed fit because they look like they're a tapered jean. So those are those simple things. The good thing for you is you don't have 10 million items in your store, so you can knock this out. Like I said, I suggest going through your store and picking out 5 of your oldest listings every day. Go into your bulk editor and knock out those title structures real quick. Pick 10 items out a day, whatever you can handle, whatever you can feel like you do, but title them like this: brand, item, gender, size. So some of you guys out there might have a great title, like with great, really good keywords that are just like on point, but the title structure is kind of messy and all over the place. So just simply go in and structure those titles correctly, and that's going to help you end up how? Being placed in front of the buyer that is the majority, the common buyer, right? So how many buyers are typing in vintage Levi's 550 relaxed fit men's jeans? And then how many buyers are typing in vintage Levi's 550 jeans? So there's a difference, and you want to be able to end up in the majority of buyers searching for those jeans. I hope that can be helpful for you, but that is going to be key for you in growing your business. And I don't know if you sell similar off your own items or what you do, but that's going to be really transformative for your business. And I would suggest selling similar off of your items, because you want to be able to copy over all of your policies and all of your item specifics and not be mixing in other people's item specifics into your listings. So let's take a look at one of your listings and see what's going on. Let's take these Levi's jeans. So your photos, nice. Very good. Very good. The tag, awesome. So, okay. So whenever you get a pair of vintage Levi's jeans, there's going to be a code here. And let's take a look. So this code right here, a 4-digit number on the back of your paper tag Levi's, is going to tell you a month and a year. So these were manufactured in October of 1998. And when they are a 3-digit code, that means it's going to have the month in the last digit of the year that they were manufactured in. So those are going to be a little tricky to identify. But when it's a 3-digit number, it's usually pre-1990s. So it's going to be like 1980s, 1970s, those types of years. And then when it's a 4-digit code, they started doing that like early 90s, like 1992, 1993, 1994. That's when they started putting the 4-digit code on the back of the paper tag. So if you have some vintage Levi's, it's always fun to check when those were made, and also maybe even putting that in as a keyword in your title, because there are a bunch of crazy Levi fans out there. So very cool. Authentic red tab jeans, very cool. So I'm thinking you use that sticker method to point out flaws. I'm not sure what that is there for, but that's cool that you do that. I use just a pair of scissors to point out any flaws. And you even put the measuring stick through the belt loops. That's awesome. To help speed up the process, I probably wouldn't do that, but if you're just, not in a hurry, go ahead and do that. That's awesome. So you got your rise, you got your waist, you got your inseam, and another point is you're doing the leg opening. Awesome. This is good. Good stuff. So you got about 12 photos or more. That's really good. You offer free returns, another point right there, and you got 30-day free returns, and you got I don't see a condition description. I don't know if you're listing on the phone or on the desktop, but going back to what I said earlier, going back and putting in something in that condition description, when those buyers are searching on the phone, over 50% of buyers are searching stuff on their phone on eBay. That's one of the first things that they're going to see is that condition description, and you're going to want to put in something there that can help at least the buyer click on the item, or to be genuine, authentic, and transparent to tell the buyer about your item. Because pre-owned condition doesn't tell me really anything. Like, that item can be shot with a shotgun and have holes everywhere. So I don't know. But having something in there is going to be key to help convert sales. So let's take a look at wow, look at that. Look at those item specifics. Ladies and gentlemen, the item specifics are filled out. So let's see if they're correct. You have charcoal wash on this. So I wouldn't consider these charcoal wash. I would just consider them light wash. Charcoal wash is when they're kind of like a faded black and almost look gray. That's when I would use charcoal wash. Theme, I don't use theme very much, but you even got theme in there. You got American Classic, very good. You got Made in Guatemala, and you got vintage as yes. So very good. And you got the season. I mean, you're putting in things here that normally I wouldn't even be putting in, but going above and beyond and being able to take that extra time to fill in those item specifics is going to take you that extra mile, because item specifics, ladies and gentlemen, are searchable. And the more fingers and pointers that you can have accurately describing your item, it's just going to help your item get found in search. So let's see where these were made in Guatemala. Very good. So I think just the first thing, going back to what we talked about earlier when reviewing your store, is just fixing some of your titles, and then looking to maybe list on the computer so you can add some type of condition description. Remember, my default condition description for all my used clothing items is used condition, light signs of wear, no holes, please see photos for exact measurements. That is my default. It appears in all my listings. And then if there is a hole or a stain, or if there is more wear than light signs of wear, then I can just go in and change those words very quickly through my listing process. But I would just go ahead and start with your titles and go from there. But as far as like your item specifics, it looks really nicely filled out. A lot of people fill out item specifics and they put NA or nothing, or they'll just put in something random just for the fact that they have item specifics filled out, and that actually kills your store. It kills your listing, and it really is going to confuse a lot of buyers. And also too, your item description looks on point. I really like that it's clear, concise, easy to read. You might want to increase the text size a little bit, but that's fine. That's very minor. Condition 7 out of 10. You put great pre-owned condition, very minor light stains on the front knees, back pocket has a little distressed tear. Okay, so what you can do is you could take that, what we just read, and put it in your condition description that would end up on the listing right here. So when the buyers that are on mobile can see that. But you're also going to want to come up with some kind of default used clothing condition description. So what I just mentioned before. Then you can go in and change those little things, like you could add in tear on back, stain on front knees, and then used condition, light signs of wear. Please see photos for exact measurements. So yeah, but very good, very clear, and you are on the track to continuing to grow your store effectively, efficiently, but I would just suggest looking at fixing some of your titles. Let's check kind of what your sell-through rate is and see how you are doing. How many items is 855 bringing in on the daily? Let me jump into the comments real quick before we do that. JTims615, I will add you to the list. JTims615. JTims615. Okay, not all the time does it come up, but we'll get you in there. Let's see. So JTims615, is that your store name? JTims615. Maybe there's a space. No. Well, we'll get to it. We will find you, and you won't have to worry. We'll find it. Let's see. We'll get to it. So you say you don't have an actual store yet. Okay. So you're about 9 months or so selling, and you've been going through lately and changing your titles thanks to your advice. Well, thank you. Yeah. If you've seen past live streams or past videos, you know that I am an advocate for at least going through, fixing your titles, and then checking if you're pricing your items correctly. So very good. Bass and Coffee, I list 5 items a day, trying to make time to improve my listings to 10 to 15 a day. I source once a week, far away, and daily in your town. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. You've built up your store to almost 1,000 items, and you're picking up, you obviously know what is quality, and you're picking up those brands, and you're continuing to pick them up. A good thing is just to figure out what you're shipping every day, what is selling, and then just go pick up those items over and over again. And also putting a little back end research into studying new brands. We could go into how to find the brands that are in your area by using left-hand navigation and searching by radius and sorting from highest to lowest. That's going to give you a good idea of what other resellers are picking up and what items that are in abundance in your area that you should be adding to your store as well. But we could go into that later or in another video. Jared, what's up, my friend? Hope you're doing well, and I hope Arkansas has a beautiful day today. Jared is a Patreon member, started with 86 items. Now he's up to 700 items, and he's selling a couple items a day. Look at that. Thank you for coming in and watching, my friend. Thrifty Mommy Chloe says, I agree. Putting 1998 in the title will help it sell. Yeah, whenever I see Levi's and I can figure out what date it is, I always put the date in the title because remember, there's people who get Levi's tattooed on their face and their forehead, and they're just like, I love Levi's. I just buy them just to hang them on my wall. So those are the type of people that are searching by year, and you're going to want to put that year in there to sell those jeans to them. Those types of people. Bass and Coffee says, those Levi's were one of my old listings. My new listings are from the computer now. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, I think that if you start from the phone, it's fine. But then you're going to figure out, it's really hard to like hunch over and type in all this stuff. And once you start doing it on the computer, you're just going to have better posture. You have more, I guess, what do they call it? Just better posture so you can be able to list efficiently. I always thought that if I listed from my phone, my neck would just really start to hurt after a while. So I list 45 items a day, and I couldn't imagine by that first week I would be dead. So listing from the desktop or laptop is really going to help you go a long way when you continue to list. So Jake Tim says, yes, shouldn't be no space. We will find your store. Okay, you'll send me a link through a comment. Okay, yeah, if you can comment on one of the videos with a link to your store, I could pull it up that way as well. We will not forget you. Elio Mora, I hope I said that right. Hi from Florida, first time here. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out and we can answer those. And Shaquana, another Patreon member. She's kicking. She's doing so good. And this is the key here, is like her story is really, really, she has a full-time job and she lists 2 items a day, and she's been doing that for a while now, and, a couple months. And, maybe she wasn't getting a sale every here and, now and again. But now you're starting to see, hey, I'm starting to get a sale a day. I'm starting to get 2 sales a day. So just like through that power of consistency, it doesn't matter how much you're listing, like 50 items a day. It matters the quality of the item and how consistent you are putting up those listings. Because maybe you list 50 one day and then 10 the next day. That's really hard for eBay to be able to trust you. Like, they don't know how many you're going to list the next day. Is it going to be 50 or is it going to be 10? So by listing 2 a day, she's doing what she can manage. She's growing her store slowly. And before you know it, 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, she's going to be quitting that job and doing full-time clothing resale because she had the long-term vision of knowing, if I just can grasp the consistency of listing, I can grow over time, with the intention of looking to hire out some of the processes of listing and photography. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And I think you're kicking butt. So good job. So Jake, we are going to find your store. Bass and Coffee, I think you're doing great. It's good that you are looking at, you change your condition description and now just go in and fix some of your titles. I think your photos look great. Your item specifics look good. Your product description look good. Some of the pricing, it depends on condition, but the pricing looks pretty decent. These Carhartt pants look good. And the title structure looks really good on some of these. So it's just going to take time. You almost got 900 items, so it's going to take a little time to go in and fix some of those title structures. I just say start with those oldest items first, because those are the ones that eBay is now kind of saying these aren't selling, so we're going to put them on page 700. And think of it this way: when you search for stuff on eBay, do you go immediately to page 28 to search for those pair of jeans you want? No, you're just gonna really go with what's on page 1, maybe page 2. So taking those oldest items first, fixing the titles is kind of like giving them new life, and as well as doing some type of markdown sale, which it looks like you're already kind of implementing. I see a markdown, some of these items marked down. My strategy for markdown sales is for anything over 90 days, I mark it down 20%. And if it's still in the store at day 120, I mark it down 30%. So I do my markdown sales on a 30-day rolling period. So on the first of each month, my markdown sale ends. And then on the first later that day, I will redo the markdown sale and continue to stage it in that increment of 90, 120, 150, and stage it in about 10% increments. So markdown sales are going to be really helpful for you to get rid of that older, stale inventory. Because remember, after a while, eBay can know that, hey, this has been on our website for 90 days, for 120 days. There's been no action on it. Well, part of the reason why it's going to be title, and then secondary is going to be price. Maybe you got a great title, but you're priced out of market. So by applying a markdown sale to those items in bulk, it's a really easy way to just do that markdown sale rather than thinking you have to go into each individual item and change the price. I don't have time to do that. Maybe you do with a smaller store, but when you have 7, 10, 20,000 items, you're going to want to have some markdown process. I don't believe in ending and selling similar and all of that stuff, because unless you're taking new photos, the photos have metadata, and the metadata is recognized by the algorithm, and even though they give it a new eBay item number, it doesn't matter, because eBay knows these are the same photos you used from that other listing, and it's the same listing, and you're just trying to spice it up. So you can do that if that works, great, but I don't do that for that reason. So Elio Mora, I hope I'm saying that right. Have a quick question. I list 25 items a day and selling 15 with 5,000 in my store. Do you think I'm on the right track, or should I step back and switch it up? So if you list 25 items a day and you sell 15 a day and you have a 5,000 item store, I think that's pretty decent. You know, when I was at 5,000 items, I was selling between 20 and 25 items a day. Now I'm at 7,000 items and I sell between 25 and 30 items a day. So I think it's just, you really have to have standards for your business, ethics for your business. Don't ever increase your listing goal if you're not able to carry the quality up with that. So you don't want to go from 25 a day to 40 a day or even 30 a day if you know that those extra few items are going to be terrible. So always be making sure that you can at least consistently bring in those similar items into your store to continue growing your store. Because if you sacrifice quality for quantity, you're going to end up having a 10,000 item store and still selling 25 or still selling 15 items a day. So just make sure that whenever you make that jump in your listing goal, make sure that you can really either go out that extra day for sourcing or being able to continue to bring in those quality items. But yeah, without looking at your store, I would say for that many items, you're probably going to want to see 15 to 20 sales a day, but that's just going to come down to the items that you're choosing to pick up. But if you want to leave your store name, I can check it out as well. Michelle, good to see you. Thanks for watching. Awesome information. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you all coming in and watching. You forget to check my listings or solds. We are getting into it, my friend. We are still on your page, and we are checking it out right now. So let's take a look. So you have 855 listings. And you have a couple sales today. So remember, going back to what we said earlier in the live stream is like a good gauge. And this is just like how you can rate your store depending on the quality of your items you're listing is 1%. If you're at a 1% daily sell-through rate in your store, that means if you have 1,000 items and you're selling 10 items a day, you're doing beautifully. If you have 100 items and you're selling 1 item a day, you're doing great. So just keep that in mind. But not all used clothing sellers are hitting those metrics. If you are, that means you're picking up great brands with great sell-through rates and you're kicking butt. But as you grow and scale in volume, that 1% sell-through rate is going to go down. So I'm at 0.5%. I have 7,100 items in my store. So I sell 0.5%, if that, zero point 0.4 to 0.5 on average, So just keep that in mind as you go forward. So you sold 3 today. You sold 6 on the 11th. That's awesome. You sold another 5 on the 10th. Yeah, on the 9th, you had a kick butt day. So, okay. Just from looking at those few days of sales, I just think that there's nothing to worry about. The really big red flag and cause for concern is, let's just say you have 1,000 items and you're selling 4 a day, 2 a day, 1 a day, and it's like nothing more than 5. Maybe it's very rarely you get above 5. That's when you need to figure out and reanalyze in your business and go, what brands am I picking up, and what brands do I stop picking up, and what brands do I start picking up? That's when it's a big red flag of, like, you start getting into 2, 3, 4, 5,000 items and you're selling 2 a day, 4 a day, 6 a day, and you're like, this isn't right. There's something wrong with this. There's something wrong with this. So just use that as an indicator, like a barometer, but don't take it as fact. Don't take it as like, if I don't have this, I suck. Just kind of use that as a gauge to be like, maybe I need to do a little more research. Going into left-hand navigation on eBay, typing in your zip code, searching by 100-mile radius, typing in men's jeans, women's tops, women's dresses, men's pants, men's shorts, men's shirts, whatever it may be. It could be electronics, video games, trading cards. It doesn't matter. Just search by radius and then when you hit enter and you hit your solds, search from highest to lowest and study. Just study. Take notes and just study all. You can feed all those brands into ChatGPT, have it come up with a template for you within seconds, and it's done. And now you have a nice template spreadsheet of all the top quality brands that other resellers are picking up, and they're going to need to move over for you because you know how to look up what brands are selling for the highest price. So being able to have as many competitive edges is going to take you the distance in this reselling journey. So you can use that as a strategy to develop your brand list, to figure out what's in abundance in your area, because if we all live in different parts of the country, we all have access to different brands. So just do that. You have a great sell-through rate, and I don't know how long you've been selling on eBay. You had been listing, so you list 5 items a day. I just say keep at it, and when you're ready to make that jump, I would say you are ready to make that jump because you're selling, 5, you sold 6 items the other day, you sold 4 items the other day. If you feel like once you start hitting the reseller nirvana of when you're selling as much as you're listing, that's going to be the indicator of like, hey, maybe let's try now to move it up to 10 items a day. But remember, without sacrificing quality as best you can for quantity. So maybe you need to go out sourcing an extra day if need be, but just keep doing what you're doing. Once you kind of hit that reseller nirvana, that can be that great indicator to you to be like, hey, now I'm ready to start listing more. My solds have caught up with my listing amount. I'm really looking to now make that investment into spending more time growing this business, because the sky's the limit with this, guys. Like, reselling with anything is like you're only as good as the systems that you're putting in place, which is why on the channel we preach the basics, because it's mastering of those basics is going to be able to, you'll be able to hire an employee. You'll be able to scale by you mastering the basic principles of reselling, specifically on eBay. So I hope that was helpful for you. Miss Mora or Mr. Mora says, thank you so much for the info. Greatly appreciate it. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. I sent the link. It got deleted. I don't know why. I had several comments with my name in it deleted. Interesting. I don't know. Let me refresh. if you go to my Instagram on my YouTube channel page, it has the Instagram link. You could just DM it to me there, and we can take a look at it. All I would need is just DM me a listing, and then I'll be able to search your username. I know when you don't have a store, an actual official store, it's a little bit harder to look up what you're selling when you don't have a store. So it's like harder to look up the username. I will try just one last time real quick here. JTIMBS 615. I'm searching your user Oh, I found it. Okay. I don't know. Oh boy. We got it. We're ready to go. So I got you queued up, and we will take a look at your store. Bass and Coffee says, thank you. I will use what you said to improve my listings in store. I appreciate it. I think you have a really good thing going on. You know, you're not doing 50 listings a day. You got 5 a day. You're picking up really good items that I wish that I could find that easy. You know, Diesel, Rag and Bone. Those are some good quality brands to be picking up. So I hope you, fix some of your listings, and you'll just see that improvement in your store. Jake Tim says, I appreciate the time. I may try it next time. Y'all have a good day. Well, we found it. If you're still here, if not, I can just add your store on next week's live stream, but let me know if you're still here so you can get this review. But we can also check out his store, during this live stream. So, James from the UK. I hope it's not too late. I think it's 11 o'clock where you're at. So James has actually just started doing clothing, where he started out as an everything seller, which was working great. But then, he figured out, how I can really take this, $50, $60, $70,000 a year business and turn it into 7-figure business is by niching down. Check out James's channel, Bold Finds, on YouTube, and he is a UK-based reseller on eBay. And he has a lot of good information. If you are just looking to get started, you could check out his channel. So good to see you, James. I appreciate you. It's only 9. Okay, not too bad. Loving the clothing now. Yes, it's much easier. Yes. What brands are you picking up over there? Have you been able to find a rag house or a connection? I really don't know what it's like over there. I know you said he had thrift stores and stuff, but what are you finding, and what are you thinking, like, because maybe you have a lot of access to better brands, better quality. But yeah, I'm excited for you. I think you're really going to take off to the next level with niching down. Katie says, hi, James. Watched your live last night. Nice. Good job. Yeah, go watch his channel. Go watch all his videos. He does a coffee podcast talking to other resellers. So it's just going to be very helpful for you guys, especially if you're beginner resellers. You're going to want to be able to get ideas from other people that are doing it on that big level, so you don't make the mistakes that they made when they first started out. So you can learn from our mistakes and hit the ground running in your reseller life. So, J. Tims, we'll just pretend that you're here. I don't know if you are still here. I will just pretend that you are, and we'll look at your store. So, Jake, your store, photos look good. I think that they can be cropped out a little bit more because you're kind of cutting off some of the details of some of your clothing items, like this Harley Davidson jacket could be just cropped out a little bit more. And I would also do the main picture as the front, not the back of the jacket. And, like this Wrangler shirt right here, I just kind of crop it so you can get more of a centered view. I believe centering and, that symmetry can really make it look a little bit better in your store, just taking that extra time to do that, but maybe you don't have the space or whatnot. And I know I can feel that. So, but trying to at least get your pictures cropped and centered can really make it look nicer when someone comes to your store. So let's take a look at some of your titles. We'll just start with this Harley Davidson jacket. It's awesome. I like it. It's a Harley Davidson vest. So it's a vintage Harley Davidson vest. It's going to be vintage Harley Davidson vest, women's, and then the XL. So you have the size at the end, which is going to be harder for a buyer to be searching for their size all the way at the end. Most commonly, buyers are putting in size more towards the front of their title when they're searching for something. So it'd be vintage Harley Davidson vest, women's extra large. And I don't put size at all because I believe you could just use the word size and put in better keywords. So you could try that, and I think that's going to be helpful for you. These LL Bean jeans, men's 37-34. So you have LL Bean men's 37-34. So you're going to want to put, what is it? LL Bean what? So anyone could be typing in LL Bean men's. So LL Bean jeans men's 37-34. Levi Strauss 510. I don't ever put Levi Strauss because most commonly buyers are not putting Levi Strauss. They're putting in Levi's jeans or Levi's 510 jeans. So you have Levi, so you're going to put Levi's with an S, and then jeans, Levi's 510 jeans, men's size. And I don't see a size in this at all for this listing. Pure Playas. Love that brand. Never heard of it, but Pure Playas jacket, men's, and then size. So that's how I would structure that. You have Nike dry fit basketball shorts. Great keywords, but I would put Nike shorts, boys small, and then all of those other things. Dry fit, basketball, drawstring, and so forth. This FootJoy polo, I would do FootJoy shirt, men's medium, and then you put polo, black, dollar racing, cocoa, whatever. And then this Jordan 100% linen shirt. Love linen stuff this time of year, but you're going to put Jordan shirt, women's size, and then large. So don't put size, but put the size of large there, and then you would put linen. So, for example, you have it great right here. This is a rocking out of the park right here. Wrangler shirt, men's 2X. It's beautiful. It's great. Just like that. So if you could just take that as an example and use that across all your listings. So Tommy Hilfiger XL men's classic button-up polo shirt. So going back to the example, and we've talked about this earlier, but if you're just coming on, this is what we talked about. So Tommy Hilfiger XL men's classic button-up polo shirt versus what are the majority common buyers typing in to look up Tommy Hilfiger shirts. They're typing in Tommy Hilfiger shirt and then men's XL. Least amount of buyers are typing in Tommy Hilfiger XL men's classic button-up polo shirt. Then in that case, you would show up in search if that's what they were typing in. But you want to go for the majority. You want the majority of buyers that are wanting to buy Tommy Hilfiger shirts. You want your listing to show up there. So it's going to greatly increase your chances if you can structure your titles for the common buyer. So, but I think for the most part, you have some decent items in here. Let's take a look at some of your item specifics and photos. James says, still searching on the Rag House, but starting to learn some good brands. Hi, Katie. Good to see you here. Very good. Yeah, you just really only learn by doing. That's how I learn. You can only analyze and read so many books and watch so many YouTube videos to then you get to the point of like, okay, you equipped yourself with the information. Now it's time to comprehend the information and it's time to apply the information. There's understanding, there's comprehension, and then there's application. So information is knowledge, comprehension is understanding, and then the third one is wisdom, which is applied information. So it's like reading books. It's like reading books is great, but it's useless activity if you don't apply the information, right? You don't read books just to put books on your bookshelf and go, look, I've read 300 books, and you're working at Taco Bell. Nothing against working at Taco Bell, but I'm just saying that you want to be able to apply what you're learning. And I learn through application, through failing. If failure is not an option, then neither is success. So you do need to fail forward, fail often, learn from those failures, and apply what is helping you become successful. So read, watch YouTube videos, and then apply. James, you are already on the right track because you've already been doing reselling, and now it's just you're going to get better through applying what you're learning, and that's going to speed up that process. For me, I made so many mistakes when I started out reselling. I would pick up anything I could see profitable, and really that didn't help me. That hurt me. So I needed to really see back here, those are all those items that suck. I'm never going to pick up those items again. So you learn, but you fail forward, and then you just continue to do the things that are putting you in a successful situation. Jared is back. Hello, my friend. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Smash like if you're getting value. I hope everyone is doing well. So, Jake, I know you left, but we're going to pretend that you're here. We're going to look at your listing. So, Jake, condition you have as used. Maybe you're listing from the phone. I don't know, but if you're listing on a desktop, a good indicator is usually a seller will have this condition description filled out, and all I see is used. That doesn't tell me anything. And if anyone is taking photos and they're doing the back first, that's going to be, usually people want to see the front of it. I know that's a really cool looking logo, but maybe you'd want to just make that your second photo. But I would put this as your first photo, and I would make it cropped in so you could see the entire garment. Cool vest though. I like it. And I would try to button these up just so they look a little better. Doing those little things really make a big difference. You offer returns. That's awesome. You offer buyer or seller pays for returns. So free returns, very good. Your shipping price looks pretty decent. This would be shipped priority because it's going to weigh over a pound. It's a denim vest, extra large. So I would charge at least $7.95 shipping, because $7 shipping, you are actually going to be losing money on your shipping, as eBay charges $7.60 shipped with a USPS flat rate priority envelope. So something to consider if you are underpricing your shipping. But yeah, so that's what I would do. The photos, we already talked about the titles. Let's look at item specifics. So it's a women's. Yeah, you got that in the right category. Embroidered, solid, pockets, Canada. Okay. Yeah, it looks good. So this is searchable. I would definitely be, if your item is vintage, you're going to want to put yes instead of no, because if you do look at your item specifics, it shows you the search volume on a rolling 30-day average, and vintage item specific search is a high volume searched item specific. So you're really going to want to get that correct, because if you don't, then it's not going to end up in front of those people that are searching for vintage items using left-hand navigation. So something to consider. Item description. Vintage. So a lot of people do this. They put the title in the item description. You don't really need to do that, because the person already knows what they're buying because they clicked on the listing. And as well, that title is in the information. That information is in the title. So you can do away with that. And something where you can either make this text maybe a little bit bigger, and maybe putting some bullet points here just to make it easier to read for the buyer. We want just seamless easiness for the lazy buyer that doesn't want to read anything. So we want to make it easy for them. But yeah, that's just a quick little audit of your listings. And then as well, adding in measurements. Adding in measurements is going to be key for your growth as a used clothing reseller, because you're wanting to be able to tell the buyer, hey, here's the pit to pit measurement. Here's the collar to hem measurement. Here's the collar to cuff measurement, as well as with jeans or pants. It's going to help you for any false item not as described too. When people are like, oh, this doesn't fit or doesn't match description or photos for any size reasons, you have evidence in your listing that you provided measurements. That's going to be key. And I have big news. Maybe you have heard, maybe you haven't. Marcus Dixon with Dixon's Pickens and I have joined forces. He did $140 thousand in sales last year. I did $180,000 in sales last year. So combined, we did about $320,000 in sales last year selling pre-owned men's and women's clothing. And we have combined forces to offer as much value as we can as an eBay mentorship, as a reseller mentorship, working with you 10 hours a week via Zoom to help put the same systems and processes in place that help us achieve those 6 figures. So we have about 18, 19 members now, and we have access to the private Discord where we're available 24/7 to answer any questions that you may have, as well as those 10 hours a week of coaching. He runs the morning call from 9 a.m. to 10 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I do the evening call from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as all the 100 hours or more of pre-recorded coaching calls and access to a reseller spreadsheet, as well as an eBay store review. So for a limited time only, we're offering a 7-day free trial. You can join, see how it is helpful for your business. If you don't feel like it's giving you any value, you can just cancel after the 6 days and you won't be charged. And if you are getting value, it is only $1 a day after that. If you feel like you need some one-on-one coaching, we have just opened up to a limited of 10 members of a one-on-one coaching that we do once a week, Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we work with you in a more private setting, helping you really take your business to the next level. So you can check that out, linked in the description down below. We'd love to see you there. So getting back into the comments, James says, yes, Marcus is a top man. Marcus is awesome. If you haven't seen Marcus's channel, go to Dixon's Pickens on YouTube, and you will be a master in reselling just by watching a few of his videos. He has bins videos. He has eBay tutorials. He has many videos that can help you take that next step from just watching a couple of his videos, so you can start applying some of the things that he teaches. So I hope you all got value. I know we just did a few stores. If you want more store reviews, you can leave it in the comment section of this video. I will add you to the list next week. You can reach out anytime if you have questions. If you want to know what is selling in my eBay store on a daily basis, you could check out this video right here where it goes more in detail on the items that I'm picking up, the items that I'm leaving behind, and what exactly are these items that I do pick up. What are they selling for? So you can check it out right here. And I hope you all have a blessed rest of the day and take care.